Call the meeting to order. Please rise. And I ask you to join me in a moment of reflection on the business that's before us this evening. Please join me to pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Alderman Basso.
Here.
Alderman Begley. Alderman Violet.
Here.
Alderman Clifford.
Here.
Alderman Key.
Here.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Here.
Alderman McGovern.
Here.
Alderman McGrogan.
Here.
Mayor, City Clerk, Treasurer, and Attorney all present.
All right. My good fortune tonight to have a special presentation. As you know or may not know, we had the annual tree decorating contest over at, and this year, due to the construction, we moved it from 123rd to the Art Garden to here in front of City Hall, which actually worked out very nicely. And we have the winners we announced at the tree lighting ceremony on Friday night. But tonight we're going to make the presentations to some of the troops that are here. So if you're here, please come up, and we've got a nice certificate and also a gift card for your troop to use at the little local establishment. Snow days, tropical snow. You can all go over and have snow cones. And it's supposed to be pretty warm next week, so maybe that'd be a good day to do it, not tonight. Okay, so third place, we have Troop 55857. If anybody's here from that one, troop?
No.
Nope. All right, then we'll get that to them.
Third place.
Second place is the Little Learners Preschool. Anybody from there? All right, well, but first place is Girl Scout Troop 51604. Come on up.
Only the winners can.
Here you go, ladies. Take your. I think your troop leader here wants to take a picture or something. Somebody's taking a picture here, so.
You don't want to be Nicholas.
You okay, Mom, sir? Okay. All right, enjoy your snow cones, okay? All right, thank you for taking part. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So the other troop, they can stop by City Hall anytime and pick up your snow cones. So
They're not picked up in 24 hours. It's 4 days.
if they don't pick them up 24 hours, they go to the City Council. So, all right, on the consent calendar, got a couple of items here. The approval of the minutes from the City Council meeting from November 16th, 2021, along with the approval of the payroll and voucher list for the period ending December 3rd, 2021. Need a motion to approve the consent calendar. Moved by Alderman Violet, seconded by Alderman McGrogan. Discussion? Roll call?
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Any sealed bids to open tonight?
No bids.
All right, a couple things I'd like to talk about tonight, if I may. This last weekend, we had some great things happening around town. We had the Kris Kringle Market opened up again after a hiatus because of COVID last year. Fantastic turnout. They estimated the crowd at 5,500, I understand, and maybe Alderman Key will talk about that a little later. But we had the tree lighting on Friday night. Big crowd for that also. The restaurants were packed up and down Harlem Avenue. That was the whole idea. And so again, I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. But we had a great time. Also, I'd like to my hats off to Alderman Begley, who's not with us tonight, but her and her cohort, Miss Courtney, they organized their Santa Claus parade again this year, and it was a big hit. A lot of families and the like got out and went through town and observed the holidays and waved to everybody, and it was a great time. Also, you may notice as you came into City Hall, or as you go out tonight, if you haven't, the new display that we have over here, making use of the gazebo here at City Hall. This is something that I wanted to do a couple of years ago. I couldn't personally figure out a spot where to have it. So that's why if you notice on Harlem Avenue, we have that box, the gift box has been up there for the last couple of years. But the Payless Arts Commission came up with the idea and spearheaded the group to build the display here at City Hall, and it's been it's a great asset. You can see it here from the parking lot of City Hall, but also you can enjoy it as you go down Route E3. So it's quite a kind of nice tribute to the season, and it's a good addition to what we've got here. And but I'd like to give a big thanks to a couple groups, Public Works for one. I mean, during these last weekend, these guys really worked helping set the tents up, getting the lights up on Harlem Avenue, making sure they stay lit, which is another thing. When I was there Friday night, they were up in a tree getting one of the lights that went out restrung up there. So big group to them, and to the to the police department also, directing traffic Friday and Saturday night. Although we had a great turnout at the restaurants, it was a traffic nightmare in some cases. So they really stepped up and took care of it. On the dark side, I do have to mention that there was a notice out a couple days ago that an individual with Parkinson's had walked away from his home, and people were looking for him, and unfortunately they found him this morning in the CalSag channel. So our hearts go out to his family in this time, especially during the holiday season. So keep him in your prayers if you would. It's quite a time. Many times, rough time for that to happen, but especially this time of year. So just please keep him in your mind, in your hearts. Also, what I need is an approval from the City Council to join in the State Attorney General's Opiate Class Action Settlement. If you remember, 2 years ago, I think we initiated as part of a group of Southwest suburbs in an action against some of the opioid manufacturers, and that continues to go on. This is actually a separate case that, as being a town in the state of Illinois, we are able to join in the class action settlement. So I need a motion from the City Council for us to join into that, so that we may.
So moved.
I'll make a second.
Moved by Alderman Key, seconded by Alderman McGovern. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And number 8 on the agenda, let me give a little background here. If you remember, we approved the facility from GW Development to build a 7-Eleven fueling station over on 83 in Harlem. Subsequent to our approval, the 7-Eleven acquired Speedway gas station. So what happened is they put a hiatus or a moratorium basically on any developments as that transaction came down. So it kind of threw a monkey wrench into GW's plan, and they were able to ascertain a new operator of the station. And I've met with them and seem to me very impressed with their operations and what they do. And part of our PUD ordinance calls for the city administrator to review the plan, and if it's a minor change, to make a recommendation that it just be approved by the City Council as a minor recommendation, minor change. That in mind, maybe Ken, if you want to just kind of lead in, and one of the gentlemen is here from the new developer.
Sure. It's Ken Bussey, City Economic Development Director. And here in the audience is Dan Saltis, and he's with SEMA Development, which is the development arm of the operator that will be at this location. He can present. We've got a little PowerPoint presentation up here ready to go. If he's so interested to get into, I'll just lift that up right now. He had sent the city administrator this letter requesting a minor change. We had reviewed it. The plan unit development consists of the ordinance that was adopted and then exhibits. One is exhibit B and C. The B is a big 3-ring binder specifying all the things that will go on. And then C is a letter that was pulled together in July of 2020 in order to convey to everyone what the development would look like. And at that time, I can, let me just quick pull that up, because that has been subject of discussion a little bit. Hold on. Okay. Having technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. Doesn't appear to be working. Hold on a second. Anyway, I will describe to you what a lot of pictures of what. Can you find the mouse operating here now? Here we go. Must have just been asleep or something. This is one of the illustrations. Another illustration here that was presented July 2020, and it was made part of the PUD in terms of how the corner would look like. Some of the above standard designs that would be included, such as for the fueling canopy, there'd be brick columns instead of just metal poles, and then along the edges would be a combination of wrought iron fencing and some brick monuments, including a sign, welcome to Palos Heights. And then this is at the corner of Harlem and 83. This is what the 7-Eleven was proposed to look like. Dan will get into what it will look like as a Pride store. And this is the northwest corner as originally proposed with the basically Palos Heights. As you come south over the canal, you would see this. And then there's also as part of the original design, there's also a component that connects the sidewalk to the CalSag trail. So these elements remain a portion or a part of the design. Okay. With that, I will bring up Dan, and as Dan's introducing himself, maybe I can figure out why this PowerPoint is.
Do you have the site plan on here? Want me to call my grandson?
These PowerPoints are a little bit large in size. Okay. This is your letter, and these are your.
Do you have the color elevations in here?
The which one?
Color elevations
Yes.
that I sent you?
Yes. Load that up.
Yeah. Okay. Load up the site plan real quick and then show me where the elevations are. Good evening, everybody. My name is Dan Soltis. I'm with Chima Developers. Chima Developers is the real estate development arm of the Pride stores. We're part of Parent Petroleum. So some of you in the room may know about our Pride sites. We have 16 of them in the Chicagoland location. The Pride stores is our convenience store brand. It's the retail side of our business. Parent Petroleum delivers fuel to over 400 fuel facilities in the Chicagoland area. We're the largest BP supplier in the country. We also have a lubricants portion of the business as well. And we're out of Warrenville, 40 years. in the business, family owned, based out of St. Charles, Warrenville. This project became available to us. We're currently under contract on the 2.25 acres on the northwest corner, and northeast corner. And as Ken had mentioned, we're adhering to basically the same site plan that was approved during the 7-Eleven. We have 3 changes that were identified. We are adding 1 fuel dispenser on the south side of the canopy. We had to bump the curbing about 6 feet towards College Drive. We also added outdoor seating. I don't know, I have this on here.
So this is the area where the 1 additional pump would be added. They bumped down this within their property line yet. And then there would be an outdoor seating area. So.
Correct. So our intent is to adhere to the original PUD. There's nothing that would be modified other than those slight changes which we felt qualified for the request for the minor PUD adjustment or modification amendment. If you're familiar, or I don't know if anyone has been to one of our locations, but what we say is we're not your typical convenience store, and we really do feel we bring a different offer to the table. Nothing against the previous offer, but we currently have our own. We opened up a brewery 2 years ago. We have 3 proprietary restaurants that we offer. This one will have our Pride Cafe in it. We have Urban Counter. We have Taco Urbano. We do a lot of different things in our store that you don't typically see. If you've been into any of our sites, you'll see that we don't spare any expense in regards to our exterior, what we do inside, brick features, our flooring, all of our architectural features. So we do bring something different, and we do feel that this will be a good addition to the community.
Our city administrator sent us the link that we could go visit your different locations on the computer, and I did that, and your location pictures are beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Which locations did you go to?
Like the ones closest to us.
Hinsdale?
Yeah.
Maybe Naperville?
Yeah.
Yeah. We opened up, yeah, this is our Naperville location. That one was opened up December of 2019. All right, thanks. This is that's our Hinsdale location, Ogden and York. That's our outdoor dining area to our Urban Counter restaurant. That's our Pride of Geneva. That's our cafe offer. So that just gives you a little idea of the cafe offer. This is a shot of our Palatine location. Our Urban Counter is closest to us, and then I don't know if you can really see it, but yeah, I probably have some better pictures. Okay, this is Naperville. So you can see, we really do take pride. That's one of the things ownership really kind of embraces as part of the business. He runs all of it, but he really likes to get into the design. Each location has its own character, and we try to bring that as we open up new locations. Our farthest site south of here is in Dyer, Indiana. We just picked that up a couple of years ago. So we're really trying to fill in the area, from Hinsdale, into this area. It helps that we have multiple sites in those areas if a site runs out of cups or whatever the case. So that's the intent is growth, and this is an area that I'm familiar with. I actually was with BP for 10 years, about 12 years ago when Southwest Highway, the Worth location, BP that was one of my projects. So I'm kind of back in my own area, which is kind of neat. So it's good to be back down in these areas again. That is our Geneva location. So you can see our wine offer. We do want to have our beer and wine offer with liquor package here. We have wines that we sell that are $7 all the way up to $70. We have craft beers. We take pride in that. We have a brewery, so that's one of ownership's passions as well. And that really shows in our offer when we're bringing it to the sites. That is our Hinsdale location. We do TCBY, and we have nitro coffees, things on tap like that. So you'll see that we do have quite a array of convenience store offers. We also have a commissary in our Warrenville office. So we bring fresh sandwiches made daily to the sites through our trucking facility, through our trucks, and those are brought in on a regular scheduled basis. That is our that is Naperville. That's our Pride logo. You can see it up there on the sign there. This site obviously does not have a car wash. That is our Palatine location. So we use architectural features, brick, stone, cedar. Whoop, leave it. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of kind of who we are. I've worked for the company for about 8 years, and every project is new. Every project is fun to do, and this one will be no exception if you're able to approve that minor adjustment. Ken, if you want to pull up the elevation. So the intent of the elevation, we did stick with the original PUD language. We did add one additional feature, actually two additional features, to match the Palos Heights, the living facility to our east. If you can get it up there.
Yeah.
So we added the same columns that the facility has, along with the awning. So that'll kind of tie in even a little bit more than what was currently proposed through the 7-Eleven plan.
Right. There we go. And then, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, that's it.
It'll take a little while.
Okay. So we'll still have the same brick features. We'll still have the same stone features. And then in the front there, once it pops up here, you'll see the columns in the front that will match the columns on the assisted living facility, on the senior facility, as well as the gray awning feature.
Let me close out and reboot.
The canopy columns that Ken had mentioned, they were proposed as full masonry wrap. Those will be the same here to stay consistent with the original approval. You saw it on there.
I think the CPU is a little slow on this.
So it's a color elevation. It's not quite as pretty as the one that 7-Eleven put together, but you can see the intent is the same there. We're going to use the same brick, obviously, that the facility to the east used, same stone features, and then you can see the column features there with the awning. I don't have a picture of that. I wish I could throw it up there, but I'm sure you've all passed it hundreds of times.
What is the top parapet there? It's brick on the bottom and the facade or the facade across it. Is that brick or masonry, or is it drive it, or?
I have to find out what material that it's going to be. The same material that the facility to the east used. You're talking about the awning?
No, above the brick
Oh, that's
on the upper part.
That's
of the
stone.
facade. Pardon?
stone.
Stone, just a different color and texture.
Right.
And on the back side, there's eating areas on the south side of the building, I take it, towards Route 83 there?
Correct.
Do you have any approximate dimensions of how long or how big that is, roughly?
10 feet by about 40.
10 by 40, so
10 by
that's
40.
10 feet out and about the width of the building,
Correct.
And then you added one more garbage can, which is going to go at the north end and hidden from
Yes,
side
I'm
to
sorry,
the-
I forgot to mention that as well.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. I'm glad that, and that'll be done on a regular pickup too, I guess.
It
right?
will be done on a regular pickup, correct.
I don't have a problem with that. First, when I read it, they said some changes, so I read it and I had some questions, and they were all straightened out to me. The one is that from my work with G&W, are you still involved with G&W?
We are.
Okay. There was some discussion at the time on the western sidewalk that goes to the north side of the bridge about a continuation or an access path down to the bike path down there along Lake Catherine, and I know that it probably be up to contingent on approval from the MWRD. Would that be in your plans that those contingencies were met by the MWRP?
We would agree to the same contingency
that?
to do that, correct. We would need to follow up with GW Properties to get a
Right.
little bit more detail, and we'll follow up them accordingly.
Yeah.
But for sake of this discussion, we'll adhere to the original PUD.
So if they agree to that, you will put that extension down there to make.
Correct.
The reason I ask that is because with that, it becomes more viable to get onto the bike path rather than go across the street of Harlem to get out.
Right.
And the people on this side that would be using this facility would be able, people that would come off could come right through there.
Right.
They could also go back right down on there.
More customers.
It's safer and
Right.
all of that stuff there. I've been to your other one out there in Hinsdale, nice store. Which of these stores was primarily would be, you show 4 or 5 would be coming to Payless sites? I mean, are they all sort of a little different? Are they all standard layout in the
You mean as far as
core
the
and
floor
inside?
plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all slightly different. We don't have the floor plan laid out yet for this one. I would say probably Naperville would probably be the closest one, based on square footage.
Okay. And the only other thing I had is on the, and I'm going a lot from memory, but I have it written down somewhere, but on the monument signs at the front where it says Payless Heights, or City of Payless Heights, I should say, on either side there's a small brick column.
Yes.
And on there, I believe there was supposed to be a fix, the city logo, the tree logo on either side of that.
Yes.
Do you recall that on there? Because I didn't see it on the last
not on
ones
there.
on there.
A rendition or whatever.
Was it on the GW property?
It was added.
Yeah.
If it was on there, we'll.
Talking about these.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That logo never made it on the exhibits that GW Properties had submitted when the PUD was approved, but as part of the discussions, that was brought up at that time.
and
And that would be part of the design element.
You want to add it into this modification since it wasn't brought up
because
previously?
I didn't bring it with me, but I do have a rendering of that, showing that on, on the bigger, the one I was just asking about that. I mean,
Yeah.
And
it's
our, oh, I'm sorry.
it sort of made it look nice in conjunction with the one that said Payless Heights or City of Payless Heights. I don't know what the exact wording would be on here, or if there's on that, but somewhere in that general area. And then the wrought iron fencings and pillar would continue up to the south side of the bridge and over to the west side of the nursing homes property, correct? It comes around with the masonry,
On the
masonry
property
column,
itself, along Harlem and College Drive.
wrought iron
Correct.
column, wrought iron column, up
Correct.
until their drive access.
Per the exhibit, correct.
Uh-huh.
And the intent would be to build all of that at the time we develop the convenience store and gas and fuel facility.
And then on your traffic plan, on coming in on to one side
Coming in on the
there.
right in, right out.
Yeah,
on
I see
College
that.
Drive.
Is that going to be like a rumble type thing in there?
The current right in, right out is a mountable right in, right out.
Right. So it's not painted.
I think it's a rumble strip right
yeah.
now.
And the same will run Harlem side.
Correct.
So
correct.
they get a warning there if
Correct.
they accidentally go out.
Correct. All of the truck radius, all the circulation plans that we do are very conservative. So if it works on paper, it'll work better
Yeah.
on the site.
Yeah, because I'm just going by this, but you solved one issue I had was, or a question was that the steel columns that hold the canopies that they were going to be encased in masonry, the
Full
mansion building.
full masonry, correct.
Like the one, yeah, see the thing where it's sites? On the back side, there were 2 city logos and a tree logo on there.
Okay.
We
can get the details.
See on the podium, on the front side, it's going to be something like that probably.
Okay.
It was similar to that, yeah.
Yeah, we can get details on that
Yeah.
from the officials.
Okay.
From city
Other than
officials.
that, congratulations. I think be a viable plan on a corner that's been deserted for quite a while, and
30 years.
I think it'll generate some revenues that the city's gonna need in the future. And I also understand that you have one of the best hamburgers around.
At our urban counter, it has been featured, yes.
I just want to say too, when I'm traveling back and forth to one of our offices in Oak Brook, I get my gas there, and I go inside occasionally and waste some money on donuts and things. And it's always clean. I think they do a good job. I've been in York. And also, as just pointed out, I think generating interest, I listen to ESPN a lot on the radio when I'm in the car.
Yeah.
And I notice you guys are a sponsor
Yes.
on ESPN. So,
Right. Yeah, we've been doing them.
It pulls people in, I guess. So.
Yeah, they do. We take a lot of pride in that part of the business as well. So I think every Wednesday, Carmen DeFalco from ESPN
Right.
will do a bourbon sampling, and they did a podcast at our brewery in St. Charles, Illinois. The burgers are good. The beer's been real good too.
That was on the radio. They advertised, if you want a great hamburger, go to Pride Stores.
Yeah, it really is a good one, and I'm not just saying that. It's yeah.
Just-
We've been
Just giving
featured.
you a plug. That's all.
Thank you.
I'll
tell ownership.
One quick question. On your other with G&W, they mentioned something about a possibility of an electrical, some kind of thing incorporated the city could use for, say, for a Christmas thing in city, or lights, put lights on there, and if we so desired.
For some of the low-lying landscape.
Yeah, a plug-in station there. If not, it's not
I'd have to just kind of. I don't think that'd be an issue. I'll just let ownership know that.
It was
that's-
mentioned before that it indicates that if the city wanted to do something for the holiday or make that corner, festive, to say the least enough, that they would have somewhere to plug in for some low voltage LED type
Sure,
stuff.
I can.
If you could ask,
See
just
that.
ask.
Sure,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Alderman Basso, you have something?
Yes, a couple questions, and just minor comments. On page 10, you make reference to Payless Hills, the marquee sign, Payless Heights. Before that letter goes out, and that idea gets stuck in somebody's head. It's not Payless Hills, it's Payless Heights. However, on another issue, the pumps, I think you call them dispensers. Under each one of those items, is there one pump there or two pumps?
There's one dispenser, two locations,
Two sides.
yes,
Okay, so
two dispensers.
so there'll be 12 sides.
12 fueling locations, correct.
I'm just wondering, is the space that's made for the sixth pump, is that's taking away further from the required landscaping?
No, it's no.
No, there's still enough there.
Yes.
If Ron in the back and Ted could set up that picture. I read all your information that you sent out. I saw your pictures, I saw your sites, and I certainly have to agree that they're beautiful. It looks like a much better aesthetic than the corporate things that we're used to seeing. However, I'm just wondering if we're opening up these things for discussion and for compromise. If we could look again at the awning that's proposed on this building from the last plan, as opposed to the facility that was built in Geneva, if we could get that picture up here. I don't want to use the G word anymore because we haven't bought into that, but that is an entrance to Payless Heights. Yes. And that Geneva facility would certainly be a stunning entrance for a gas station facility coming across into Harlem, across Harlem into the Heights. And I'm wondering if we could require that kind of canopy rather than the utilitarian tin canopy that we see on GPs and mobiles and things of that sort.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of those canopies out there, and there's probably a reason why. We purchased that site from Fuller's, if you're familiar with Fuller's Car Wash. So we purchased that site about 9 years ago. They opened that site. They're better car wash guys than they are convenience store, gas station guys. So we took that over. We took that one over as is. That canopy it's a little bit more maintenance. I see what you mean about aesthetics.
Well, small.
I didn't have any discussion with ownership regarding that type of canopy.
Well, I just throw that out for the council to consider and think of as we're opening up with the accommodations we provided for that corner for the developer, that maybe now we could readdress that and ask for that rather than.
Well, I think you're willing to look at it and say, I think that's the main thing.
We didn't build that. I certainly will talk to ownership.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and get his take on it.
I'm sure that Spectrum would welcome that. I mean, that's certainly an enhancement as you look across the whole complex there into their facility. It would certainly be an upscale imagery as it moves down Route 83.
Okay, all right, I'll mention it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your food service, you have some indoor seating as well?
We do have indoor seating as well.
And it looked like each restaurant has different amounts of indoor seating and different type. I kind of envision that this location is you're going to draw a lot of walk-in business from Payless Senior Living next door.
Yeah, we hope.
And, I'm wondering whether you're considering that as you build this, because our 7-Eleven over on 135th and Ridgeland gets a lot of walkover business from the townhomes over there.
Right.
And considering your location, the people who live there, they don't have to cross any streets or anything. And sometimes they just like to get out to get the morning coffee and get a nursepaper, and that sort of thing. And I expect if you have some food, that'll be a primary source of business for you.
Sure, absolutely.
Actually,
That's what we anticipate. We do have indoor seating. We have the outdoor seating, that we're proposing as well. Our food offer, all of our food offers are great food offers.
It sounds quite complimentary to the senior living facility that's there.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Now, while we're talking about the indoor area, I know I mentioned the beer, wine, and liquor package. We'd love to even entertain a discussion about a pour license for the cafe as well. So we would,
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Okay. Other than that, need a motion to approve the city administrator's approval of the requested minor change in the approval of PUD in northeast corner of Harlem.
So
and
I'll
Calvert
make the
Drive.
motion.
Moved by Alderman Violet, seconded by Alderman McGovern. Discussion. Roll call.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
I just want to say that my constituents nor I were ever in favor of a gas station on that corner, but I will vote in favor of the changes. Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Aye.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bring some burgers back.
Would have gone on much faster.
All right. Yeah. Okay. City clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have two items on the agenda. Number 9, seeking a motion to pass a resolution setting forth the schedule of city council meetings for 2022.
We need a motion.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Clifford, second by Alderman Violet. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Second, a motion to pass a resolution setting forth the schedule for city committee meetings for the year of 2022.
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Violet, second by Alderman Clifford. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have this evening.
All right.
Thank you.
City treasurer,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report tonight.
city attorney.
No report.
Any communications? Anyone?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. 80 years ago today, December 7, 1941, a date which live in infamy, the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by the naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. I regret to tell you that many American lives have been lost. And this was by our president at the time, FDR, and being it's the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, I'd like to ask everyone to keep those that gave the ultimate sacrifice at that time. Some of us had relatives there and everything of that. Say a prayer and think about that, what happened 80 years ago, that made our country what it is today.
Adding to that, the tally that was brought out this morning, that there were 2,400 lives
Right.
that were lost that day.
2,403, right.
And the last person, I was down there for Veterans Day, and it was about 2 weeks before there was the last person for the USS Arizona whose remains were put back on the ship for his burial at sea. It was a devastating day, and while I was down there, I was shown exactly how the Japanese were able to turn around and come over the mountain at Ford Island, keep their ships, their planes under radar to turn around until they came up to Ford Island. The mountain range kept the noise level down so that they could raise up, come in. They took out the ships. They took out Hickam Airfield. Then they took out all the ships, all the airplanes on Hickam Airfield. And the Arizona was bombed. The the Utah was torpedoed. And I think it was the Oak. There was one ship out at Camp Eva that actually made it back out into the ocean. It was a destroyer. Made it out in the ocean and was able to turn around and fight off some of the ships. Outside of that, the Japanese were able to bring in aircraft carriers within 500 miles of Pearl Harbor without being detected from Japan. It is a sad day. It is a day of infamy. The notification of Japan bringing us to war was never received until after the attack, and both the commanding general and the the admiral in charge of Pearl Harbor were reduced in rank following that.
The history of all goes on about how that started, and a lot of people don't know. Just for real brief, is over oil and things of that nature, which blah blah blah. The message that was go to Washington was a 14-part message, and they didn't type it quite quick enough when they presented it to Secretary of State Hall at the time, and they got it in late, and Pearl Harbor was already bombed, and the rest is just history. And the thing, the little quote is just an excerpt out of the speech FDR made to Congress on the day after Pearl Harbor. But it is the 80th anniversary, to keep that in mind and put it in perspective. And I'm sure somebody around here, I know I did. I have my father-in-law was there. I have a picture of him and two of his buddies sitting on the pier there 4 days after it happened, or 5 days after it happened. They were there, and everything's still smoldering. But just keep that in mind, what December 7th means to this country and what it stands for. Thank you.
Oil was still leaking out of the Arizona on Veterans Day 2021.
That's something. All right, any other communications?
I have one.
Yes.
I just want to let everybody know, I talked with Alderman Lewandowski and on the agenda for next Tuesday, December 14th, on the license and permits committee meeting, I am putting up for discussion, gambling in the city of Palos Heights. I'm letting everybody know in advance so that nobody can say that we were caught him by surprise.
Okay. All right. Any other communications?
Just one other, quick communication. Thank you, more or less, on behalf of the Payless Lions. I'd like to thank everybody in the surrounding areas, the citizens of Payless Heights, and all those that helped put in the time and the hours to make this a very successful tree sale. It's going to help out quite a few families with Christmas basket and food for the holidays. But so a big thank you goes to everybody, not only residents but the surrounding areas of people who came up and supported us.
Good.
Thank you.
Good job. All right. Anything else? Citizens wishing to address the council? If not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm
I'm David Reyes.
Could you come up here and name and address, please?
Yes, hello. My name is David Reyes. I'm on here from Listen and Santillas. We're going to be on agenda item number 12. We'll be here to answer any questions, and I'll be ready. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. All right, Finance Committee.
Mr. Mayor, we have a few items under the finance report. Number 11 is a motion to approve the ordinance amending Title 11 under the business regulations under Chapter 121, the property tax classification area, to add a Class 7C property tax classification to the city code, which we currently don't have.
Second.
Moved by Alderman McGovern, seconded by Alderman Key. Discussion? Roll call?
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman McGrovern.
Yes.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Okay, number 12, now that we have number 11 approved, we have a motion to approve a resolution supporting and consenting to a Class 7C property tax classification for the property located at 12861 South Harlem Avenue, formerly the Jiffy Lube.
Second.
Moved by Alderman McGrogan, second by Alderman Key. Discussion? Roll call?
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman McGrovern.
Yes. Thank you. Number 13 is a motion to adopt an ordinance providing the tax levy for the city of Palos Heights for the period beginning January 1, 2021, ending December 31. It should be, 2021, in the amount of $10,211,503.00.
Moved by Alderman McGrogan,
Second.
by Alderman Violet.
December 22. For next year.
I'm trying to, is it 12?
All right.
Yeah, I was just curious
Okay.
about the year.
No,
I was the word.
It's right, 21.
Okay.
It's payable in 22.
Yeah.
Roll call?
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
This 14 kind of ties into it. Motion to approve a resolution proportionately reducing all levies except the city corporate library, corporate tax, and police pension.
Moved by Alderman
Second.
McGrogan, seconded by Alderman Violet. Discussion? Roll call?
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes. Mr. Mayor, that's the end of my report.
Thank you, sir. Public Safety, Alderman Basso?
Oh, yes, Mayor, I have no items on the agenda. However, I'd like to give some information to the public from our police department. As you know, theft of packages at delivery doorstops is always a problem, especially now with the holidays. There'll be more packages delivered and there's going to be more packages stolen. Many times thieves follow the UPS truck or the Amazon truck and just picks them up as fast as they're dropped off. So we have a whole bunch of technology to prevent that today, but all of it is rather costly. But there are some common prevention tips that the police department gives. Number one would be choose a shipping option requiring a signature. So your package has to be personally delivered. Track your packages online, which most people do. Have packages delivered to a trusted friend or neighbor if you can't receive them yourself. Have packages shipped to a location where you can receive them directly. And remember, again, as in all instances, call 911 if you see anything that looks suspicious or you have any doubts about anyone coming to your door. And that's the end of my report.
Mr.
Thank
Mayor?
you.
Mayor,
Before
if
we
I
get
could
off
add on
public
to
safety, I wanted to mention 2 or 3 things. Number one, Alderman Basso always brings up all these interesting scams. I'm here to tell you that I'm experiencing it firsthand, and I caution everybody. It was right around Thanksgiving, I heard a story about one of our residents who actually lives in my neighborhood, and he was saying about how he had a check or something that he was put in his mailbox to get picked up, and it was made out for a legitimate bill that he was paying. Apparently, somebody got a hold of the check and doctored the check, and now, which I think many of our kids, I don't do it, but I know my kids use it. All you have to do is take a picture of the check, and then you can have it deposited right into your account. Well, I guess that they're getting so good at it that they basically, when it went through, they set up an account at a bank, and that's a bogus account, but they have enough enough IDs and stuff to get the account set up, and they paid. In this particular instance, it was between $5,000 and $10,000 that this resident had. So I was like, wow, it's unbelievable. And of course, since I'm a banker for a long time, I was thinking it's conceivable. And so anyhow, the next day, I decided, I better double check and just make sure everything's copacetic with my account. Sure enough, on my checking account, there was some funny business going on, which the bank is investigating, and I would encourage everybody to pay real close attention, because I think you get lazy in that regard. And now it's going to be a pain in the neck to unravel some of this stuff. But and then also, I just heard this one at lunch today. Apparently, one of the guys was saying that never pull over when somebody tells you another person, not a cop. Somebody from the area was driving to work, like yesterday, I believe, and they were asked somebody motioned to pull over, and they said, okay, but they kept going to the next light or something, and the person was persistent and said, you need to pull over because you got something hanging out of your car. Person got suspicious and didn't pull over and dialed 911 and called the police. The police were in the area, pulled that car over, and the person had a loaded gun on the front seat. And so the follow-up on this was the police, recommended and said, don't pull over. Do what you did exactly if you think there's any type of shenanigans going on. And it just goes to show. Oh, and they said that's a setup for a carjacking. I'm not in that business, but it sounds like it's hitting all the areas. So those are 3 safety stories for me.
It's the Christmas season there, and everybody's going to be out shopping. So I'm going to add a little public safety message to everybody, if you please. Number 1, please don't walk around with 25 credit cards in your wallet. If you're going shopping, 1, 2 at the most. Okay, please. Number 2, your wallet, don't put it back here. Put it in the pocket inside. Inside your jacket. Okay? That way nobody can see it. As far as the women go, I wish you would have been here. I would have needed her purse. Cross your purse over your body, inside your jacket. That way it's covered, it's concealed, it's much safer than anybody could ever make it. Okay? If you don't have one of those long stem purses, figure somehow keep that purse inside. Inside, please. And again, for the women, also, and guys are probably worse than women on this one. Limit your credit cards you take with you. Don't go shopping, grab 2 items, go back to your car. Grab 2 items, go back to your car. Go back to your car. No, don't do that. Everybody will turn around and start noticing how many times you go to your car. They're going to find out you got stuff in it. You come back, your car will be broken into. Okay? For the Christmas season, I'm just going to ask everybody, kind of just be careful with that so that you can enjoy your happy and Merry Christmas. Okay?
Mr. Mayor, one other thing to hitchhike on Alderman McGovern's idea about the credit cards. Someone told me, and I did this about a year or 2 ago, they said a good idea is to, with your credit cards, is to photocopy the front and the back of your credit cards and keep it at home. So in case you do get pickpocketed or you lose your credit cards, you say, oh my God, how many do I have? What do I have? And it has all the numbers of your card and the numbers that you hit, the 800 numbers that you can call for like Citibank and the rest of the companies. And you just keep it in a safe spot in your house so that you have a record of all your credit cards. And then immediately, if that happens to you, unfortunately, then contact the 800 number to say cancel that credit card.
Right.
Don't forget,
Okay.
if you're walking around without your credit card, how much money are you walking around with? If you've got 5 or 6 credit cards in your wallet, even if they only have 12 hours to turn around and do it, they're going to get you, and you're going to be on the phone for months trying to straighten out your credit, and it's going to affect your credit rating and everything else going down the line. So just please be cautious.
All right, municipal grounds and property, Alderman Begley's not here. She asked me to make this idea. This has to do with the extending our lease on Lake Catherine. We need to do a phase 1 environmental study. So need a motion to approve the agreement with Christopher B. Burke and Engineering for the professional services to provide an expanded preliminary environmental site assessment for the area surrounding Lake Catherine Nature Preserve in the amount not to exceed $6,400. Someone please make that motion.
Second.
Okay. Moved by Alderman Violet, seconded by Alderman McGovern. Discussion. Roll call.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
All right. Planning and zoning, Alderman McGovern.
No report, Your Honor.
All right. Let's see. Recreation, Alderman Key.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to approve the city attorney to draft an agreement between the City of Palos Heights Recreation Department and the Power 3 softball affiliate for the purpose of the new scoreboard at Power 1 Field in Community Park.
Moved by Alderman Key, seconded by Alderman Violet. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then I'd just like to announce to everyone, like I have been the last couple meetings, that there's lots of activities happening around the holiday season at the rec center. I encourage you to please go to their website and look at all those activities. We've already had one of the winter markets. The next one coming up is on December 18th from 8 o'clock in the morning until 12. That's in the Orchard Room, and there's vendors there to share their goods, and very talented people bringing their merchandise, and so I would encourage everyone to take a peek at that. And that concludes my report,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Mayor.
Roads and construction, Alderman Clifford.
Moving along, we're getting ready to put the second final lift on the road. Grading's being done now, and we hope to have, believe it or not, have sod put down and all finished off. You see over there the grading.
The
The
sod
second lift should, hopefully, by the end of the month.
Yeah, sod's down.
So, other than the slight delays they had when the window pulled off for a couple of weeks, it would have been done. But right there did a nice job, restored everything like it was, if not better.
Good, thank you. License permits and franchises, Alderman Lewandowski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report.
Water and sewer, Violet.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item 17 reflects our commitment to do as much public works stuff in-house as possible. And so I move to approve the purchase of a rigid sewer push camera with locator in the amount of $13,445.32.
Moved by
Second.
Alderman Violet, second by Alderman Key. Discussion. Roll call.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Oh, yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
And I also move to approve payment to Strand and Associates in the amount of $5,164.17 for engineering services for the month of September, developing the capital improvement plan.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Violet, second by Alderman Key. Discussion. Roll call.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford. Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Alderman
Mr. Mayor.
Violet. Special reports, business and economic development.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As you mentioned before, our Chris Kringle Market was this past weekend, and some of the other activities related to holidays in the Heights. And I just have to tell you that it just, I'm so proud to be part of the committee that put that thing together. It's so rewarding to do months and months of planning and have it be so successful. You know, it really was an effort that a collaboration of the city, the business community, the Chamber of Commerce, and residents all serve on the committee that put this thing together. It's expensive to do so, so there was a financial commitment from not only the city, but also from the business community and the vendors that took place, and it was very successful. I'd just like to say thank you to Bob Grossart, a resident, for chairing that committee. He's a tireless volunteer in the city, and he stayed on top of things and made sure that all the different elements were checked off in the planning part of that. And as you mentioned earlier in the meeting, Mr. Mayor, Public Works and the Palos Heights Police Department do so much work. I was just shocked at how quickly the tents were taken down, and then Public Works was there dismantling the electronic part of it and then just doing the cleanup. And as we do all these major events in town, it's just almost miraculous how fast they can do it. And so all hands on deck, but you know, everyone was safe because the police were making sure everyone crossed the street and watched the traffic patterns. And we do believe we had 5,500 guests this year at the market. And so it was such beautiful weather that people were walking from all the neighborhoods. So thank you to the police department for that. Also, the city of Palos Heights and our mayor, who have been very supportive, both with time and support, and with financial support as well. And then Ken and Stacy from our community development office here were integral to all this and doing the advertisement and the social media engagement. Barb Bergamo, who will be the chairman of next year's committee, is a resident, but also a business person from the community. Michelle Horist, Carrie Sirigus, John Hanley, Franny Cardasio, Judy and Mike Weber, Veronica Studnica, and the Chamber of Commerce, Debbie George, Rogine Gager, Kathy O'Hare, and Janine Kazmar from the Public Library. And I would tell you, these people are so creative and so just dedicated to doing something not for themselves, but just to make things wonderful for our residents. And so thank you to all of them, and thank you to the city. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. Cable TV, open.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. So far we have got 18 shows running continuously right now. It takes a period of over 4 hours for us to before we start repeating all of our shows. That's just about maxing out, except the backboard in the back there. I just got done looking at it. Either we're going to turn around and have it completely filled very soon, or we're going to have to get a bigger blackboard. But all the guys back there are fulfilling hopefully every need that somebody needs or wants in this community. Their shows are well done. You just can't beat it, and they're all working there. I think there's a couple of them in there that volunteer over 1,000 hours a year.
Pretty good.
And well, I know there's at least 4 of them back there that do that. So I just personally myself, I want to say thank you to all 4 of them back there, that are back there right now, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Appreciate it, sir. Any old business? Citizens wishing to address council? New business? Entertain a motion to do executive session for purposes of discussing. Okay, moved by Alderman Key. Second by Alderman Violet. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Be back.